We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Fatboy FadeAway Sports Podcast, episode 170. Tyler, we're back after a week off here. Sunday morning. How we doing, Mr. McGurk, after our birthday weekend in Disneyland?
Doing well. Disneyland for the third time this year already. No, I'm just kidding, but I'm doing well. I'm relaxed, got some time off work, and my Arizona Wildcats are reaching the Sweet 16 for the first time in a couple years.
Yesterday, you guys did the show with Doug with Dayton yesterday. It was kind of you guys played well yesterday.
We played good for about 30 minutes, and we had 10 minutes of absolute garbage, but that's what you get when your offense is run through Caleb Love. It's a lot of hit or miss, and when he's cold, it's going to be a tough time to score. But he will hit shots at times.
How was Disneyland? How much? I feel like you guys would own like 3 houses by as many times as you guys get at Disneyland. Right? You guys should be millionaires. No, I'm just messing with you.
I mean,
aren't you going again?
It's not cheap.
Aren't you going again next weekend? You said or something?
No, I'm going. No. I got that. When you were texting me, I thought it was still.
I was like, my gosh,
no, I'm not going. I'm going in April again for a weekend. For a little 5-month anniversary.
How do you guys mix it up to make it enjoyable many times? Again, that's the part that blows my mind. With you guys must have a system down to how when you go there, you're like, no, we're gonna go to these places now, maybe, or do you just do the same thing? And you just got to relive that great moment over and over again. Like I don't know, I'm just always blown away by it. But not just you guys. There's people that go way even more than you guys. So I'm always always blown away by how you guys keep it going. I guess I don't know.
It blows me away how much she wants to go. It's not a me thing. It's me. I enjoy it because she's happy. She lets me do my own thing. She does her thing, and we just have a good time hanging out together. It's kind of like a getaway where we have no distractions. You can focus on each other, even though you wait in a lot of lines. You do a lot of people watching. The food's good. A lot of churros. You got to watch your weight while you're eating those churros. But no, we have a good time. And it's just like her getaway where as soon as we leave, she's like, I miss Disney. I'm like, grow up. You're not kidding.
Can't live in Fantasyland forever.
Come on, Peter Pan.
No, that's great. Well, because I was there, and that's the one thing I'm like, I get that person must go like once a week. Like I'm just like looking at some of the people walking around or trying to walk around there. And there's what's up? I hope you guys have a great show. Doug,
what's up, Doug?
Out there. I watched The Road. What was that? What was the show? I can't think of it right now. The one with Patrick Swayze that he gave the little review on.
Roadhouse.
I love the original one. Yeah, another one. This one was on steroids. This one. Did you see it?
It was insane. Yeah, I watched it last night, but I saw Doug post about it, and I just turned it on, and it's like, I get to watch Conor McGregor, and just absolutely. You see the first scene, you see who's the singer guy, who's a little chubby guy fighting.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, man, this is out of control. There's no way this guy's beating anybody up.
Everything was tucking up a notch there. Let's put it that way. Action movie times 300, and they're unrealistic at the same time.
He's taking knives to the ribs like it's nothing.
Not very much. So you guys had a good time. Disneyland birthday 37 now, right? 37. Is that what they?
37 years young. Oh man, time flies.
In August. I'll be 40 in August.
What are you having a big birthday? You doing anything?
I don't know what else we'll do. I don't know, 40 laps. We got to do 40 laps for that.
40 spankings.
No, got that. So Disneyland, yeah, the place. I hadn't been there since I was like 8. All right, me and Hannah went for it was literally 4 hours. Like we went one day, like for 4 hours to meet my Aunt Sandy down there. Speaking of my Aunt Sandy, some sad news with her. She got diagnosed with MS on Monday. So you can keep her and my family kind of compared to my dad. Obviously, that's my dad's younger sister. There, so obviously Sandy and Paul mean a lot to me. So that was some bad news that we received Monday. So, but we'll be praying for her and just hope that sometimes that stuff can move slowly. And so we'll hope that maybe that's the way her case there with it too. Speaking of my Aunt Sandy there too with it, so that was kind of some rough news we got Monday with it. So have that, but they love Disneyland as well. They used to go down there a lot with it. So that place is always cracks me up. And then whenever I hear you guys are going, that's why I'm always just going to give you a bad time every day. I'm like, this guy's probably gone more times in 4 months, and I'm going to go my life. That's what's going to happen. This guy's going to go.
This December will be our 10th year of going in a row at least once, and we'll be celebrating in December.
Man, that's
by attending Disneyland for the 3rd time this year.
And now, what is your favorite ride there? So now that you've been there so many times, is there a favorite ride?
It's probably Midway Mania, where it's not even really the one where you wear the yellow glasses in
I don't
California
remember that.
Adventure and you shoot the little targets.
I haven't seen that. I liked the Cars Ride. That was the one.
The Cars Ride's great, but I
That
don't
was
want to
the one.
wait 2 hours in line to go in that line. So we
We got there early. We only had to wait 45 minutes the first one. That was I accepted it. And then Xavier wanted to go back at the end, and we waited an hour, but it was all right. It probably wasn't. It probably could be worse. So yeah, I did that. I had I had Spirit Week this week at our school.
Yeah, how's Spirit Week go?
The spirit is full of spirit. That's what it is. The spirit was not sapped. It stayed strong during it. It was funny because so you have, for me, like I've done tons of camp. So like I can structure it. I mean, people there with it. So it was like Monday, I did relay race, and it's not just tag a line. Cars was our team. It was actually Team Lightning McQueen versus Team Mater is what the 8th graders decided to make the two teams. So I had to divide all 4 kids onto 2 different teams, teachers as well, and all that stuff. So the kids I had to set up a relay race. So kindergarten versus second was probably like 30 yards maybe, but I had them like jump through tires, jump over cones, that kind of deal. Kind of try to use the Cars theme there at the end. The older kids, they had to probably go about 60 yards maybe, and they had to go through multiple things. And I had them and then they had to flip a tire twice at the same time. Right, there's 2 lines, so they can kind of see where they're at competing against the person. I think Derek was like dead on the way back, but you have to jump. I may have had to jump over those cones. Not tall, but if you hit it, you had to run back. And he was like, he was so spent at the end of it. So I did that. We had that Monday, and then they did the tug of war was my favorite though. Like the first graders' faces, like as they're like it's like with all the might pulling on it. It was like it's so funny to watch and stuff. So and then I kind of because the K through 8, like you remember as a junior higher, like 7th grade, you're just never like go team, go school. Yeah. So like it's so funny the difference like in that area. You got the younger kids that are super into all of it, the older kids that are into it, but they're just like kind of a little bit like I don't want to be that cool. I don't want to be that.
Yeah, exactly.
That guy.
They got to play it cool. Was there any injuries? Any falls? Any straight knees? Any burnt hands from the rope?
There was. We did have a girl go down in kindergarten. She hit the tire, so I lifted her up, took her to the side, and said, "On the next one.
Get off the course. We got Spirit Week to
roll off the field." No, we weren't that one. We didn't do that. It was fun though. We did that, and then Hannah got to pie me in the face on Friday because she paid for that.
So she must have enjoyed the crap out of that one.
She did. All pictures. I can send it to you. There it is. Yeah, she definitely enjoyed that one. There's video
to be our logo
on Facebook. Facebook, you got the video there. You can see it. One of the kids was like, "We saw your underwear when you lifted your hands up." I was like, I guess I gotta go. It's a good thing I was wearing underwear that day. I guess that I was a good thing.
Would have been free.
You go like this at the end, and I'm like, that's something you remember is my Al Bundy's come out with
Al Bundy's are a big mover in the elementary schools.
So I thought that was funny. I thought we had that. So it was a long week though because I had to set. You're trying to set it up right to run. There was 11 classes.
Oh, yeah. Organizing that has to be a pain in the ass.
Well, it took me. I think it took about 5 hours on Sunday, and then I had to do. Then I did Bible trivia on Thursday with them. I had to come up with like 35 questions. I did.
You should have given me a couple of those questions for.
All right, okay. When is Jesus' birthday?
I mean, Christmas, but I don't think that's the real answer, is it?
It's always a trick question. It's a trick question. When is New Year's? We didn't do that. Like some stuff like that. Yeah. Most of them were kind of like I kept them pretty simple, like for the most part. Yeah. But then there were some tough ones, of course, too. So, so I did all that this week, and then had to get grades into. So it was a long week but it was a good week, and it was fun to see the kids. Now we're on Easter break now. I'm gonna obviously since I do admin, I still have to kind of be there during the week, but I'm gonna take Monday off and Friday, get off for Good Friday, and then
take Good Friday off.
So it'll be good to have a couple days. If it doesn't rain, maybe try to hit some golf balls on Monday. So see where that goes.
Nice. For holidays, do you have to set up the church a little different, or they're like a little extra decorations, or like
some
Easter,
people will come in. Yeah, the Christmas stuff, they have a few stuff. Like they usually get a tree, and then we have like these metal things that people made that they kind of put in the back. But like there may be some wreaths around the side of it, but we're not as crazy. We don't go as crazy as some other churches I've seen like around there. But yeah.
One quick question on the Spirit Week. How'd you feel like you did separating the teams? Were they pretty close, or were there some where you're like, oh man, I stacked this team on accident?
So as the PE teacher, I was kind of preparing. I could kind of prepare the kids for some of the games, right? And there was only a couple classes where beforehand I kind of let them be in their teams ahead of time. And of course, these teams are unfair. And I'm like, you shut your mouth. You know, you're right. Yeah. But it's hard to tell. Like, they're
of course you're going to get that.
Some days their kids are sick. Some kids went on vacation this week. I mean, it's all like kind of and then it was pretty close. I think the Team Lightning ended up winning by a decent amount. But, I mean, a lot of them were like trivia questions they got right. One of the games is Find the Eighth Grader, which is basically hide and seek. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, so there's some of the games are tug of war is like strength. Relay is that. So mostly every team, the relay and tug of war got flipped. So my guess is I had more of the stronger kids on one team and like the more agile kids. I don't know based on that, but that was kind of my only thing. But it was fun doing it for that week. It was tough. But and then we had the Easter program on Tuesday, and I was there I had to do the opening prayer for that. So
were Derek and Tavi on the same team?
They were not. I put them on different teams. That way, no kid could say you just wanted that team to win.
Great point. Who ended up winning, Tavi or Derek's team?
Derek's team.
Nice. A little bragging for the older brother. Yeah, I know you were for the older brother. You're the older brother.
So full week there. Full week. I wasn't even locked in on college basketball till like really yesterday. I mean, I did watch some of the games Friday. I kind of obviously followed along. It was just a busy week. And so just I was lucky to even get seventh inning in this week. So we got that. We had that kind of done too. And then I did Jimmy's podcast Wednesday where we did the show with Jordan. So it was still a full week. A lot of stuff done. But Fatboy FadeAway Sports with you here Sunday morning. Tyler, you're on the blacktop this morning. Is the rain going to hit off? If it even rains, you guys go to the batting cages or something?
No, we're not. We'll be on the field this morning.
Not raining out there.
It didn't rain enough around here. It poured?
Yeah, it poured.
No, we just got a light rain. Unless it poured last night, but I don't think so. I think we'll be on the field. They'll be hitting grounders, getting their fingers to the ground, not the bottom of their hands. They keep having the glove too high up.
Between the wickets.
Get your glove on the dirt.
Between the wickets. I'm doing baseball, and like P was one of them. It's so funny. Some of the kids that just don't know the rules. It's fine. It just kind of cracks me up. Like, they're running around third, thinking they're gonna score. You're out. Like stuff like that. So that's pretty funny.
You need a better third base coach.
Better third base coach there. You've been watching any of the Warriors lately, man? They just can't do anything. Like I feel like I'm not even analyzing it there. They're a 10 seed team, buddy. You're out. Like the Rockets are now pushing them. Like this is kind of sad with having Curry on your team too. I feel like it feels last season.
For sure. I think it's not good enough. I mean, they have moments. They're so up and down. They're like whole team is Andrew Wiggins' like career in a nutshell. They have like a month of good and then 10 years of bad. Like it's so frustrating. And then
are you finally on board with me? Then this is not a championship team.
Yeah, this team's not winning anything.
Even if they win 5 in a row,
they might get into the playoffs winning too, but probably not. The showings they put up, like the one against the Pacers the other night, was just pathetic. Leaves a lot to be desired. But Dempsey's kind of hit a wall. I still like him going forward, but like he just hit a wall. Moody gives you nothing the last month.
Man, I thought he'd be better this year.
Me too. I thought he'd take
kind of not good.
Kaminga played terrible against the Pacers. Miles Turner looked like he was the great, like Wilt Chamberlain out there on defense. Everything.
Their defense sucks. It's just not good enough. It sucks.
And that comes down to everything. Curry's not the same player. He's still great, but he's not Curry of even 3 years ago.
Well, is this where they should be when we look at it, or you feel like this team? Like you look at all the other teams now in the league, like it's kind of weird. Like you look at that 4, right? Like let's just say Phoenix drops to 7. You have Durant, Luka, LeBron, and Davis and Curry played in the play-in game. Like that's kind of crazy to think about. You have like those type of stars. You'd almost say that's more star powered than the actual playoff names in there. Not necessarily better, just the star power of the name in there. So that would be kind of a weird thing to look at. Do you think I wouldn't be shocked if the Rockets pass the Warriors and the Warriors don't get in.
I wouldn't be shocked by any means.
The Warriors
no way would I be shocked.
They're not good.
And with the way Jalen Green's playing,
the teams that win basketball games, they don't do very well. Like they just don't do they don't play help defense well. They don't protect the rim well. They're very inconsistent rebounding, and they depend really heavily on one guy to create most of that offenses. And when you play good teams, that's just not going to be a recipe for success unless out of the blue, Kuminga just turns into somebody we're not expecting for the whole playoff run. Like, or Wiggins is like, oh, this is how I forgot to do it. You know, like I just don't see that happening.
I'm with you. Like you bring up everything they don't do well. What do they do well? Not much. They don't shoot the three even that well anymore outside of Steph and Clay every third game. Like Dempsey doesn't hit threes. Wiggins doesn't hit threes. Wiggins hit the side of the backboard the other day on a wide open corner three. I was like, what? How do you do that? Like you're an NBA player, hit the side of the backboard. And then I don't know. Then the backup bigs are terrible. Looney is no longer playable. Saric is no longer playable.
Davis has been okay. Davis is like, no, you can't expect more from him.
No, he's been good. He's been like a guy that you're like, okay, we can at least have a backup big, maybe even a starter, fringe starter. So that's a good come up. I mean, I wish we had Wiseman still. Gary Payton doesn't provide much.
You wish we had Wiseman still?
I mean,
after how bad offensively though at times he was like.
Oh, he was pathetic. But now he seems to have taken a little baby step where he's at least a 7-footer who can roll to the rim and.
That's true.
Be like a baby deer. I still don't think he's going to be a great player. Don't get me wrong, but he's better than Gary Payton.
The West playoffs are going to be kind of fun this year, though. There's a lot of like the fact that the Kings are 7 seed and the Mavericks 8. Like that's some good players there, and I mean even LeBron and Curry, or I guess the Rockets, would be well, the guy from the Rockets had a kid and he's playing out of his mind. I forget his name.
He's about to have 3 kids with 3 different baby mamas with him.
Multiple kids. It sounds like there. So I don't want to. I just feel like the Warriors. I just want to. We hadn't touched on them. I mean, 18 and 19 at home, 18 and 14 on the road. Remember how last year wasn't that flipped the year before? Like they couldn't win a road game last year. Now they have less wins at home. Oracle, come on, where are we at? We need that Oracle crowd. Is that what it is? They just don't perform. I mean, that's 18 and 19 from a team that usually, even when they were bad, played pretty well at home.
When are you talking about bad? They won 17 games all year.
Yeah, so like when they were like, yeah, but I'm not talking like those years, but like even when they were like in those years, like with Baron Davis, when they go like 38, 36, and 44, they usually would be like at least a game over 500, then would be like pathetic on the road. Like that's usually how they played. They would have like, they'd be like 11 and 8, 11 and 68 on the road or something crazy, or 11 and 40 on the road. But you get my point. I don't know. Yeah. When I see that, that's like a major red flag. I'm like 18 and 19 at home. That's terrible.
They're also too old now. They like anytime they play 2 games within 3 days, they're gonna have one stinker. I don't know. It's just hard to watch at times. And then they look like, oh my God, this team is unbelievable when they're making shots, but they just don't do that enough anymore.
You still feel like Clay's gone? We talked about it a lot in the first part of like the year. We haven't
unless he's taking a pay cut to like $10 to $12 million a year, he should be. Yeah. I don't want him back. I mean, I love the guy. He's one of my favorite players. I say it every time I talk about him because I hate talking bad about him, but he's not worth anything over $12 million. He just can shoot and he can do it well. What team do you think he would be? What team do you think would be fun to see him on? Like, let's say he did leave. Like, where would you be? Like, I would like to see. Like, would it be Minnesota? I think it'd be like the Orlando Magic. They don't have a 2. They're playing Gary Trent. Not the guy from Michigan State who used to be on Denver. Gary Williams? Gary. I'm talking about.
Gary Trent. Yeah, no. I know. And then Anthony. He's more of their guy. He just comes off the bench. Cole Anthony.
Who?
Cole Anthony, but he plays. Yeah, he just comes off the bench.
They have him. He's too small, like the guard.
They have Suggs.
That's a defensive team.
They have Suggs. That's pretty good too.
Another small guy, and they have Fultz. They have a bunch of small guards. I think a big 2 would just off the bench just to provide some scoring because they have trouble scoring at times. They're a great defensive team.
I would see him going to an older team.
I mean, I don't
like
know.
Denver or Minnesota or OKC. I can see him going to I'd be interested to see him in Sacramento.
Sacramento would be cool.
Be kind of an interesting spot the way they play up and down. He doesn't have to go too far away from the Bay Area. Knows Mike Brown. Spot that would be on. That's where I kind of think playing with Sabonis. Maybe want to get back at the Warriors a little bit too. Might be a spot. That or the Lakers is obviously an obvious choice too with his dad's kind of links there with it stuff. So that's Warriors there with it this week. We'll see what happens. We got 2 weeks left, so we'll see if we have basketball to talk about come playoff time or not here. So
we're on a tough road trip going forward this week. It's going to be interesting. Man, just 3 weeks ago, I was like, all right, they're hitting their stride. It's back, fall off the wagon.
listen to that podcast, people. Then listen to this one a lot different. Your Giants get Blake Snell. We talked a little bit that on 7th inning this week. You a fan of that one?
Yeah.
Him and Logan Webb. Is that now the best duo? Josh Lewis said.
I don't think it's the best duo, but
could be. Cy Young Award winner wasn't he number 2, Webb, or was he 3? I mean, he was like right there, wasn't he, last year?
Who? Webb was 2. There was 1 and 2.
So there you go.
Maybe
you
in the NL, they're maybe in the NL. They're
now you have the 1 and 2 pitchers in the NL from last year on your team,
which is nice, but it's for 1 year. He's going to opt out. It's a good signing by Farhan. I'm very impressed. They kept the years down. I didn't want to sign him to a long-term deal. A guy who can't throw more than 5 innings or 6 innings max. I think it fits the team perfectly. Hicks will pitch all the time and hopefully be good as the rotational spot. Harrison has to be good. They ended up putting together a good offseason, which I had no faith in them doing after the Ohtani to come back. The Ohtani just debacle.
Never thought it was happening.
No, I didn't think they'd be able to get these 2 guys for short years too. I like it.
That's where I'm at with it, you guys. I mean, and it's that. I mean, for me, the season starts Thursday. So the time we do a podcast this time next week, the season it'll be started. You'll have Giants baseball to talk about. I'm looking forward to 7th inning stretch there. We'll be going on a little earlier at 6, kind of catch the end of some of the games on the East Coast and start some of the West Coast games. So kind of tune in with us that day if you want some live commentary with it a little bit. And I'll obviously have some of the things up on the screen, all that good stuff. So that'll be fun on that with it. But I'm fired up for baseball season. And it's weird for me as like an A's fan looking at it too. Like I shouldn't be, but I'm looking forward to the talent that's in the league. I'm not necessarily a Giants fan, you know that, but I am intrigued by your guys' situation and how this plays out. See how the leadoff hitter Lee does, and just how your fan
He's
base.
Gonna have a big year.
Just interesting how your fan base is going to react this year. Like if you guys go and then you lose your PA announcer, that's a big deal, obviously. I like your
Isn't
tweet.
it funny?
Like the fans would be more upset if we lost Kruk and Kipe. They'd rather not lose Kruk and Kipe than sign like Corbin Burns and some other stud. That was funny. I was like, that's good.
It's true though. They're up in arms over losing a PA announcer. I'm like, do people really go to the games to hear a PA announcer? Like I've never thought about it. That's your only memorable thing. And Barry Bonds. Like I don't. God, I mean, she was okay. It didn't bother me. It bothered me at first.
She was at the Warriors game, I think, the other day with Curry giving her.
She's going on a press tour, hugging all the famous celebrities and all the famous athletes. She's putting pressure on the Giants.
Glenn Kuiper's rolling over.
Well. Great. Oh man, Rod Brooks, my fellow coach of the Sebastopol Brewers, is all over Twitter just being like, "Oh, Greg Johnson's a racist."
Come on, that's not a racist thing. I mean, my goodness, like. That stuff's kind of getting tiring a little bit too.
It's so frustrating.
Like I said, I can never put myself in that shoe, but I do. There was like some interview this week with Don Lemon and Elon Musk. I don't know if you saw any of that.
Yeah.
Like some of those questions, I'm like,
how come when I always think of Don Lemon, I think of some old white guy, and then it's this like younger African American. Like, who's this Don Lemon? Is there an older Don Lemon?
That one's always a weird one for me because it's like okay, I obviously can't always put myself in somebody's feelings, but it's also like Elon Musk. How do we kind of move on from those things as well if we never keep talking about it? Doesn't mean we don't talk about the history of it, but I don't know. It was just kind of an interesting conversation that they had. I didn't really understand where Don Lemon was coming from. I felt he was trying to kind of drive home a point that we all know is obvious. Like, you know what I mean? But I feel like they're making it more into like, this is how we don't get opportunities. Because, like, I'll be honest, if I wasn't born into a middle-class family, maybe I wouldn't have the opportunities I would have now. But, like, there's plenty of white friends I have that probably feel like they got screwed too. It's just a different type of screwed. Like, you know what I mean? Like I have people that dad left them too. You know what I mean? Like friends, and they don't necessarily have the easiest life growing up. Like, I don't know where that falls. Does that make them – maybe you had 2 parents and they didn't give you – I don't know. Like, all that stuff kind of – as we're starting to move into 2020 – I don't know. I see that stuff, man. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's just tiring to me. But it is. People have their pent up old like it
past.
Racist.
It's not
well
racist.
Because Greg Johnson's like. Well, he said like racist things in the past, so he has a previous history of some sort.
He said
of
racist things in the past, and he's still an owner.
Well,
Like, what is a racist thing? I guess that's where
exactly. Like it's all construed as racist, and he has done things and like given money to certain like organizations that.
And me and you aren't here saying like,
And I don't care what you do with your money. It's your money. Do whatever the hell you want.
I guess, how do you sum it up? You're just tired of hearing about some of that stuff?
I think it's so hard to say. It's like this. It's just like tired. I don't want to hear about it. I mean, if it's real and it is happening, yeah, I'm all for it. And I think racism is bad. I don't stand for racist people. I think racist people are bad people who go to hell and like die. But like I had a grandpa who fought in World War II, like told me things that were racist. And I'm like, I don't hold on to it. I'm not like, oh, that's how it is. I don't know. I think people just.
I think there's people out there that
sign of the times.
Yeah, I just think from the.
You used to tell me, like, oh, you can't trust Japanese people. They're sneaky. Like not like the most racist things in the world. It's just stereotypical. Like he was alive in World War II and like had Pearl Harbor and like. So I don't know. I kind of.
And that's not our experience. And like that's
no,
where like,
I haven't had that experience at all.
That's why I feel like history.
Repeating what I've been told.
And that's why I feel like history is important. But then, like, now as a media, we have responsibility as well, too, to kind of look at, I don't know. I just think it's dangerous when we kind of go, like, so broad with it.
Yeah. And then you have Shohei Ohtani backing up those claims and being a little sneaky.
I've been doing that with this week with that, too. I don't know. So the Giants, they got that this week with it. My A's, they have their final opening day at Oakland on Thursday. So
are you going?
Absolutely not. But I will not be going Thursday. But bittersweet. In some ways, be kind of an odd deal. I know there's going to be people boycotting outside. There's going to be people that want to get in. I'm hoping the A's fans that are like the real intense ones in Oakland aren't like shaming people for wanting to go to these games. It's like everybody each to their own type of deal there. So hopefully that kind of is all still stays clean. But like I said, baseball around the corner on Thursday here. I'm fired up for it. Giants back at it. You guys, I don't even know who you play opening day, to be honest with you.
I think the Padres.
Is it the Pods on opening day? So you guys back Bob Melvin against those there.
Another thing about the Giants, do they bring in Chapman and Snell without having Melvin as their hire? Is this like a comfortability? They both those players have with Melvin as far as Farhan doing a good job. Like, I mean, he did bring in Melvin, so he gets credit for that. But like, I don't know.
Who's the guy that brought in Soler too, right?
Who?
Soler, Giants.
Yeah, he brought in Soler.
No, I think Melvin probably does help. I mean, I think Kapler was kind of – we talked about that in seventh inning, or maybe you brought it up.
Crap.
Getting rid of Kapler, maybe that's kind of like the whole the Raiders the Raiders thing. You know what I mean? When they got rid of McDaniels and you just got a new fresh blood, it's hard not to be happy about it in a way. So maybe that's where
it's exciting that I think we can actually compete with the better teams now and not throw out these starters every 2 out of 5 games.
So you guys go San Diego, the first 4 at San Diego. Then you got to go LA for 3 at LA. And then you go back home for San Diego for 3. So those are your first 9 games, basically. San Diego 7 times in your first 10 games. So
nice with job. The unbalanced schedule, we probably only get them like 6 more times all year.
Yeah, you guys don't.
Get them out of the way early. Hopefully Tatis is cold.
So you wouldn't play them. I'm looking at the schedule right now. You don't play until end of July. So, Be a little. Is that what it is? End of July? Yeah, end of July. You guys. No, it's actually even farther. You don't play them until. Oh, sorry, you don't play until September 6th. I thought
September. That's the end of the year.
Yeah, that was the Rockies I saw. So yeah, you play them. You don't play until September 6th.
My God,
a long ways to go there with it. And then your last schedule of the year is against against the Cardinals. Actually, you finish up against them this year. So. A lot there with baseball this week. We have the A's, like I said, they're going out with it. We have the Warriors, Giants news. Football's kind of at a stalemate menu and aren't big offseason guys like that. There was some. We already talked about the free agency last year or last.
But if you want to get 15 minutes of 49ers offseason, TMD, we're real passionate.
Yes, they are. The schedule will be whatever. Show up when he posts it. Show up when he posts it. All right. Anything else you got this week before we get to winners and losers?
I mean, we could talk about Ohtani real quick.
What did you make of that?
I think it's a bunch of, I thought you guys were very easy on him on 7th inning stretch. I think this
I don't
guy
think it's
is guilty. I think he's guilty as all get out. He definitely has something to do with this. You don't get $4.1 million taken from your bank account wired to an illegal gambling thing and have nothing to do with it. That's my only take. How they stole it? How did he steal it from his?
Do you think he has a gambling problem, or do you think the interpreter is like being a good gang member and just taking the fall?
I think he's being a good gang member. He's taking the fall. You always have you guys did mention that. You always have a fall guy, and it's not the guy who's making the money. The guy who's making the money is going to stay out of jail. And not that they're going to jail, but
who's the best fall guy ever? It's got to be Bonds. It's got to be Bonds.
Greg Anderson. That's very dedicated.
Whatever. I feel like he might be the best fall guy ever.
I'm sure there's some mafia guys, but yeah, that's best in sports for sure.
He took jail time for like 3 years for Barry Bonds. It was like he went to trial. He did all of it. He's like, "Yep, I'm gonna be." We'll take
the guy in the P Diddy thing. He was a good fall guy for P Diddy when someone got shot when P Diddy and J Lo were at the club.
Yep, there's always a money guy. There's always that one. So I found that interesting with Ohtani. We'll see. I don't think anything's gonna really come out of it.
Neither do I. I don't think. But I think there's no chance that he has nothing to do with it.
That's probably a good chance. He probably has some knowledge. I mean, you would think 4.1, unless he just never checks his bank account. I mean, there might be a chance he never does.
But from the interpreter, how's he interpret? He's not his accountant. How's he getting access to the money? That makes no sense.
Maybe he interpreted 500,000 differently. It was 4.1.
He didn't interpret correctly.
He did not interpret. He spoke a different language to him, and he didn't get it. A little side comment. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. With it. So, you've been watching the NCAA tournament's been good stuff. Creighton, Oregon. I fell asleep at that.
What a game!
I was up the whole day, but I actually had missed the second half of that game. I did rewatch it, but there were some good games. I like the tournament thing. The one thing I always like about the tournament is it just provides like one game elimination every week. The women's tournament, Caitlin Clark took a shot yesterday. The head. Her dad told her to shut up at the same time when she was complaining to refs. A lot going on. The women's tournament almost has bigger names in some ways.
Oh, it does. I mean, who's the biggest name in the men's tournament?
I don't know.
Not as big as Caitlin Clark. Not as big as Angel Reese.
Connecting to. I know. I'm actually kind of learning about the guys. I'm like, right now, the more I watch him, I'm like, oh, that guy's well. I don't know. And Holmes, I thought he was pretty good yesterday too.
Yeah, he looked good.
So the tournament's good. There should be some good games today as well. Is there one name you're looking forward to more than the other today? Or
today, I am looking forward to Houston versus Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M is dangerous. Houston has been the best team all year. I think you could see an upset there.
You know what? The game was also pretty. You know, the team's kind of surprised me a little bit is Gonzaga. They played well.
Oh, they look good. They've looked good the last month.
Yep. Oakland, I thought was going to pull it out. That is a big boy on NC State. That one. I was like, Derek, that's how you need to play. Not as good, but just move bodies. Yeah. Like, just move them, man. Just use that buttocks. Just move them. Like he'll start doing it. Like I'm like, no, your lower half is stronger than most people. Just turn and move. That guy just moves people. They have to double him almost every time he gets it.
He's a tractor.
Yeah, he is. He's kind of like Zach Randolph, but like 300. Like he just seems like bigger. Not as good, but just a big boy. They're double.
You brought up Gonzaga and Zach Randolph. That lefty post guy for Gonzaga is ridiculous. I was like, who's this guy? I haven't heard of him all year. Ike or something. I was like, this guy reminds me of a smaller Zach Randolph. But
what do you think about that guy on Kansas that went from Michigan? Do you think he could be anywhere in the NBA? I think he could because he kind of has touch and he runs that pick and roll defensively where he's at.
Kid?
He was like the only guy to get a double-double in the Big 12 this year. The center for Kansas. He transferred from Michigan. He was the big deal.
Oh, Harrison
Harrington.
I don't know. He could be.
He's got touch around. I'm just curious. Yeah, he gets like doubled all the time in college. I'm just curious. He shoots those threes, and so I'm like, maybe.
I see big Luka Garza. About same trajectory.
Luka. Oh, we got that. We got Nico's happy about his what was it? They beat
Grand Canyon.
Yeah, they got in there. I don't know. Like the matchups today aren't to me as juicy as the ones yesterday. We'll see what Marquette, Colorado kind of intrigues me a little bit, and then we'll see what Alabama is. Alabama always high scoring, so kind of see where those is. Yesterday's matchups were a little bit better for me, if I have to be honest.
I'd agree. We have 3 1 seeds going today. Those normally don't result in great games in the second round, but I do think Houston could lose. Watch out.
Purdue, they survived to the next. Who would you guys play next? What's one you're? Who do you guys
I
have?
think we play.
That should be the game you're probably most intrigued with, I would think.
Who do we play?
I got it right here. Let's see.
Clemson or Baylor.
Okay, so that game matters a little bit then.
Yeah, I'll be paying attention to that one. Hopefully Clemson can pull off that upset. I don't want to play Baylor.
Baylor's always tough.
Too athletic.
Too athletic out there for sure. So we got that. We got the tournament kind of going on. That's kind of, for me, obviously a winner of the week as well. You got any kind of winners of the week too? Outside of that?
I think the seeding so far through one day into the second round, they've done excellent. There's only one double-digit seed in NC State, who won the ACC this year and the ACC tournament. It's all 2s, 3s, and 4s, and then 1-5 in Gonzaga, but that's not really an upset beating Kansas. So I think they did a good job seeding this tournament.
And that is a rarity that's a rarity saying that, because a lot of people. What did you think of Nico's comment? He went a little harder than I'll say it here, but about BYU turning down the 5 seats because they didn't want to play on Sunday for religious reasons. So they ended up taking a 6 seed and then losing in the lost in the first round there. So I thought that was kind of. I didn't know that information until I did the show on Far to the Bench, but I was like, oh man, interesting.
No idea.
We'll take the 6 seed. And we'll lose. Gets crushed by Illinois there. So they had that part of it. So that was.
What if they make it to the Final Four? Don't they play on Sunday? Or is that
No, that's a Saturday.
Saturday and Monday.
Yep. So yeah, they could do that. What do you got for any other winners of the week here? Interpreter?
No.
You got
winner.
1 million. These are the winners.
I mean, DJ Horn on NC State. From that ACC tournament run to the first 2 games. And he was former Arizona State transfer, so it's good to see guys who went to Arizona State succeed elsewhere, because I don't like when they succeed at Arizona State. So DJ Horn, great tournament. He just a good scorer. I've been very impressed in the ACC tournament.
Is a winner the Blazers starting all rookies? Is that a winner? Starting all rookies, the first team to do it in 50 years. Congratulations. It started all rookies.
What a dumpster fire.
How about loser of the week? How about Washington Post? I don't even know Kim Mulkey. I know a lot of people don't like her, but the Washington Post is always interesting to me. So I don't even care what the stories are with that. They just, I don't know. The fact that what she said was true, I'm sure there's some things there with it, but I don't know. There always kind of feels like they're an interesting newspaper now at this point there with it. And then I thought maybe the overreaction, like we talked about to the Giants PA announcer, was a little bit kind of much too. I don't know if that qualifies as loser of the week, but it was kind of a weird reaction, I thought.
Rennell she goes on a press tour to go and hug every famous athlete in San Francisco or the Bay Area right after. Genius move by the lady. A loser of the week for me is McNeese State, a 13 seed, I believe, in the tournament. These are some of the teams McNeese State played at. College of Biblical Studies, they won 96-50. Champion Christian, they won 110-46. Laterno, 81-49. Then they go on some good teams. And then the best team they played, Mississippi University for women.
That is the best.
Mississippi University for women. I mean, the most interesting one. How do you play?
College of Biblical Studies is my favorite one.
They won 92-23 against the Mississippi University for women.
Well,
I don't know. Is that a women's team? That can't be a women's team. It would have been a bigger story, right? But what school is Mississippi University for women?
We need to deep dive into this. This is what Washington Post should be doing. This is the stories we need. How about the College of Biblical Studies? Well, what a defense they run. What a defense. The 4-out offense that they run is quite magical. That is all right, I don't have Bay Area flashback video of the week, but this was a video that I brought up for us because I remember I'll give this is Gonzaga. This is like their first kind of run, I believe, that they made.
Sylvester.
Out there against Florida. They're down by 1 with 9 seconds left. NCAA tournament playing in Phoenix. As you can see the Suns logo there. This is when in the good old days when they just left the logo there. They didn't really change anything up on you. Here it is. Tyler, you got it. I got it on the screen there. Okay, here we go.
8 to shoot. Hall, the runner! Loose ball! It's good! With 4.4 to go. Shannon. Don't want to foul. Shannon from the corner. And it's over. Gonzaga. The flipper still fits. 73-72. Holy cow.
And stole.
That I remember two things about that game. The one is that we were the next one that they lost to UConn. We were in the car. You, Kyle, Lee, Casey were in the car. My dad picked us up from soccer game. That was I remember them. We wwere listening to it, and they couldn't pull it out at the end against UConn to advance to the Final Four. This one to go into the Elite Eight. I just always remember that one always stands up to me. The guy in the Florida reaction. As a kid, that image of Wright. I don't even know who it is, but I don't think that reaction always kind of comes to me a little bit when I think of NCAA tournament time. That's the first Cinderella story I kind of really remember. Is that one right there?
Yeah, I'm with you because it felt local, even though it's way up in Washington, but it was on the West Coast and like it hit around here for
double digits. Never went to the Elite Eight back then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a good story. Man, just from that clip. Where's Gus Johnson? Bring Gus back to CBS. We need Gus. The slippers still back.
I know. I miss him on there. He's with Fox now. He does the Big East. The Big East tournament. That's all you got. You got to enjoy him for the. Yeah, we got to let him
go for one tournament.
Yeah, we need him on there. All right, T. That was a good show this morning. You got baseball practice a little bit. Covered a lot this week, I thought. Any last final thoughts here for the show here?
Check out TMB on Wednesday with me and Brian. We'll be doing a little 49ers offseason. Hit like and subscribe. Daren, it's always a joy.
Let's do it. Big week next week. Baseball starting. I'll be doing the 7th inning, so join us there with that. And then love to have anybody coming in there with that as well. So, all right, Sonoma County. Well, how many days will it rain here? How many days will we keep the rain going? All right, for Tyler McGurk, I'm Daren Breyer. We'll see you guys next time. Fatboy FadeAway episode 170 in the books. Peace.